Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of WorldBox. So I had an idea. It was a great idea that didn't turn out to work that well. And I was like, why don't I just put all the classic civilizations on kind of stretched out looking Earth and see what happens. And it, as you can tell, it didn't turn out very well. It's pretty difficult. So I was originally going to have Rome, Carthage, the Indus River civilizations, Mesopotamia, Inca, Aztec, Toltec, Maya, Mississippi, and all that. But you put the people down and then they migrate. Then they're like, oh, I guess I'm just gonna build it in fucking New Mexico. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I guess you'll just be the Puebloan slash the giant mix of Southwest civilization. So I tried putting them into different areas as much as I could. I tried having a Japan and an Indonesia and a China, and they decided to not listen. And they formed it right here, which is the Indus River civilization. So I mean, whatever. And then I tried having an Australia, and I didn't know how to spell Australia off the top of my head, so I was like, fuck it. I was gonna make it the Spiderland and call it scary. So the only one that's kind of where they're supposed to be are the Inca, even though they're a little bit to the north. That's not really where Cuzco is. It kind of is. It's in the general area. We also have Canada, and then I was gonna say Iroquois, but I didn't know if that was okay to say or not, or because they're more or less in the Iroquois / Huron area, and then I wanted to have a Rome, and they decided to go into France / Germany, and it's kind of on that border, so I decided to call them. And then I wanted to have the Kukatani Tripilia, and they decided to settle in kind of like Kazakhstan-ish area / southern that area of Russia. And then they had a splinter group and they founded Finland, more or less. Kinda. Still Russia. Russia's a big place. And then I wanted to have Egypt, and they decided to make Carthage. And I don't know what the hell is going on here. They just kind of popped up. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to leave it as is. If somebody pops up in this area, we'll rename them within this first couple minutes here. But following that, we're just going to kind of let it go. Carthage is already kind of popping off. I gave everybody 5 originally, and as you can see, sometimes they died and sometimes they immediately started reproducing. So we'll see how this goes. The map's a little stretched out. It's the only iceberg-sized one I could find, so we'll see how this goes. I have it on 2x rather than the 1x like we had last time, so maybe things will change up a little bit. So let's get it going. As you can see, I've renamed folks. So let's see how everything ends up going. We got it on 2x. People should be expanding. I have it on civilization level right now, but if we move to culture layer, they've got all their own culture and stuff. And then we've got, let's just keep it on kingdom layer just to kind of have it be on its own. So natural disasters, I think, are on. Let's look at the world laws. That's world history. I lied. It's year 1572, so that's fun. World laws. So we need to turn this on. 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 And we also need to have natural disasters on. So those are all the world laws. And it immediately starts to rain. So it looks like the Indus River civilization kinda is starting to expand. We also got the UAE right here. I wanted them to be more like here-ish for the Mesopotamia, but again, like I said, it's hard to do. And look, all these folks just kind of running around in Indonesia. Form a civilization, you bastards! But they won't. So I'm sure there's a mod that you can put things down, but what's the fun in that? So how's everybody doing? The Northeast folk have not expanded at all. It's just oh, hey, you finally got 2 people. So it's all humans, no orcs or anything like that. Canada's just chilling, real cold up there. I don't know how long they're gonna survive. They got Alaska, but this is none of it really. Nunavut, however you pronounce it. If I pronounce something wrong, I'm very sorry. And if I get any history or anything like that wrong, have you know that I am a pre-civilization archaeologist, where all of my training and all of my pretty much knowledge comes from prior to 7,000 years ago, or 7,000 BC or whatever. I know it's not BC, but So that's what I specialized in this area and this area and this area. More this area now, but I did my thesis here, and then I did, actually it's more like here, I did actual like work in Ukraine. So that's fun. Yeah. So that's kind of, you know, all I know. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Carthage has taken over what is Morocco and are expanding pretty rapidly. They're probably going to move into the Egypt area, where you do actually have a nice Nile River going on here. The UAE is also, well, it's the Nile River / the Red Sea. You've got the UAE expanding into what is somewhat near India. My geography is not the best, so please excuse that as well. And these guys are expanding into China-ish area. Japan's still chilling, not doing anything, even though I put, you know, a bunch of folks in there. The somewhat Russians are still expanding. France and Germany have moved on to what looks like England, or no, those are wolves. Yeah, that makes sense. And then we've got Finland, kind of just doing Finland. That's why it's all caps. Carthage is expanding like crazy. The Puebloans have moved into California and are starting to get into northern Mexico, so they're kind of going into the area of where the Aztecs and the Toltecs are, or were. The Northeast folks are moving into the upper Midwest, and maybe they'll eventually get into what was the Mississippian Society, kind of like right here where the Mississippi River is. So that's known for like Cahokia and being basically the major civilization in what is North America. The Inca are expanding pretty well down into what is now over Peru and getting into Brazil. Scary Land is taking over the entirety of what is Australia. Somewhat Russia has moved into more of actual mainland Russia. The Moscow-ish area is still not claimed. It's kind of hard to tell on this level of like kind of macro scale. Carthage has moved on to what is Sicily, and is actually moving on to mainland Europe where Italy is, and they're also kind of where Gibraltar is right now. France and Germany has also moved and taken over what is France and Germany and Belgium and a little bit of England. So that's cool. It's cool to see that happening. So that might just be one giant unified Europe. So it's basically the EU, right? Everything's moving at a pretty rapid pace. The UAE has taken over parts of Ethiopia and is moving into the Levant area. Indus River civilization is moving south into actual India, which is kind of cool. Japan is still not doing anything. I suspect that they'll expand over into China and start colonizing that. South Central Africa is probably going to move into the Gold Coast area and eventually start that over and maybe move into South Africa. It looks like there's somebody. Okay, there's a bunch of dinosaurs and shit. Oh, hey, South Africa was just founded. It's definitely a village. Yeah, it's a new village, but it's part of South Central Africa, so it's basically just South Africa right now. The Northeast. Hey, what is it? What are you? Hello. Oh, hello. You're Southwest Civs. Wow, the Southwest Civs settled Anchorage. That's a hell of a distance to move. That's pretty insane. The Northwest folks have expanded into the upper Midwest and are moving over kind of Newfoundland and all of that. Canada's being Canada. It's still in none of it. I don't expect Greenland to get any kind of colonization or any kind of expansion, but there might happen. I'm really curious to see if anybody moves into Indonesia. I don't see it happening. New Zealand will also probably be uninhabited. There's also all of Antarctica down here. So we'll see. The Inca have expanded into Patagonia, or what is now Chile and Argentina. So this is actually a really cool place. Tierra del Fuego has Fells Cave, which is one of the oldest sites in the New World, specifically in southern Argentina. It's also where Monteverde is, but we don't like to talk about Monteverde because it sucks. Okay, so the Indus River civilizations have settled Korea slash not Mongolia, right? Manchuria, basically. That's old. I know. I don't know if I'm supposed to use that word or not, but that's there. That exists. Finland just expanded into Siberia. That's a bad idea if I've ever seen one. France slash Germany is taking all over mainland Western Europe. They have all of Spain, Portugal, France, Germany, getting into Ukraine right now. So this is basically where Kyiv is. Here's Crimea. And yet Canada slowly expanding. Northwest folk slowly expanding. Southwest civilizations have moved into central Mexico. They're probably going to get down to where the Maya were, or are technically. The UAE has expanded into Anatolia. It's kind of getting split between France and Germany right now. But there's actually not a lot of room left. These civilizations are expanding very fast. I don't see... Hey, Greenland got settled. Hey! Oh, shit. Somebody just got hit by a fucking meteor, and I don't know where it was. I think it was right here. But, so that's cool. It looks like the Inca are going to take over all of South America, which is not what happened IRL. But, you know, the Inca were really cool. They weren't the only civilization in that area. You had the Chimu and all that. But, you know, the Inca are the more classically known, I guess, in terms of just overall, like, popularity and, you know, understanding what is going on there. This is the UAE is expanded up into more Russia, basically, again, northern, southern-ish area. This is the Kamchatka Peninsula, still uninhabited. This is far east Russia. I'm just going to say this entire area is Russia because I know that there's a bunch of, like, former Soviet states that are just kind of existing in that area, and my geography is terrible. So that's fun. But the Korean Peninsula has been settled, it looks like. China's starting to get taken in. What is Vietnam now is actually starting to get settled as well. All of Australia is settled by scary Spiderland. We have Carthage down in South Africa. And South Central Africa is still chilling here. The Southwestives have hit 100 population. That's kind of cool. Canada is slowly expanding, so are the Northeast folks. We're going to start seeing some... Oh, Finland has declared war on the UAE. Let's go, Finland! They've taken over all of Scandinavia. They're probably going to try to take over this area. Somewhat Russia has also declared war on the UAE. So somewhat Russia is going to be fighting... They're squished. They are absolutely squished. I would love to see Carthage and France slash Germany take over. Because that's just kind of classical. The Southwest Civs has explored into basically Moundville area, Florida, and are moving towards the Maya on this peninsula. What the hell is that area called? I just know it's where the Maya are. Spiderland is declared where UAE. Dude, the UAE is getting fucked up. The UAE's dead. Oh, they took him over that quick. Finland. Holy shit, Finland. You goddamn Chads. Oh, I've created Russia. I've created the Soviet Union. What have I done? This is Stalin's wet dream. Kinda. I mean, it's like if the USSR and the Ottoman Empire decided to have a baby, and this is now what they are. Is there any more wars going on? I don't think so. I mean, I think that these guys are still all at war, but this is gonna not end well. I think the UAE is just rip. Yeah, I think the UAE is just gonna be rip. The Southwest Civs are popping off. I mean, now you got basically the US split into two, which is kind of cool, plus Canada. Oh, Canada. There's probably going to be a war between the Southwest Civs and the Inca sometime soon, and Carthage is definitely going to pop off versus South Central Africa. It's going to happen because there is not a lot of room left in the world. The only places that are left are like in this area and then Indonesia and New Zealand and all the way down in Antarctica, but Antarctica is not a inhabitable area. Finland and somewhat Russia just declared war on France/Germany. What have I done? The UAE is dead. Wow. Did not see that company coming. How long has been this? Has been 15 minutes. It was like 13. It was like 5 minutes of explanation. Like, this has gone fast. Holy shit. I am excited. Ooh, the Inca are at war with the Southwest Civs, and they're moving through Mexico. There's probably a couple villages down here, but this is going by a lot faster than what happened with the last one. Wow. Cake Woody. Spiderland has declared war on the Southwest Civs? Man. Oh, the Inca have taken over all of... Wow. Holy shit, that was quick. Damn. The Southwest Civs have been just relegated to fucking Alaska. That's a bad day. The Northeast folks seem to be attacking somebody as well. Is Canada at war with somebody? Who are you at war with? You're at war with the Northeast folk. Okay. So that's good. How are you guys doing? You're still at war with Finland and somewhat Russia, and you're alive somehow. Carthage, who are you at war with? Nobody? That's surprising. Who are you at war with? Nobody? That's also surprising. Wow. I know Spiderland, you're at war with the Southwest. So this is surprising, to say the least. Turns out when you put everybody on a small island, the Southwest civilization has been destroyed. What? Inca has declared war on Canada. Dude, the Inca are just on the warpath. Finland's king died too. What is happening? How are you alive somewhat, Russia? You are just stuck in the middle. You just have to have some powerful ass allies or something. There's just no reason you're alive. You are surrounded. You are completely surrounded and you're landlocked. RIP. Oh, and there goes pretty much Europe is about to get destroyed because Finland is coming in big dick swinging. Their king's now been slain. Yeah, that's RIP. RIP France/Germany. Every Hearts of Iron player is slowly cringing, and there you go. Finland reigns supreme. Oh shit, but there is a tornado. You know, if the other civilizations can't kill Finland, God will kill Finland. That's what I'm talking about. How are the Inca doing? The Inca are doing great. I think Finland is going to take over the entirety of the old world, minus England because they don't have boats yet. So that's fun. The Indus River civilization is currently getting destroyed by a tornado. Who are you again? Somewhat Russia. Okay, so somewhat Russia is, yeah. Wow, that's an unfortunate tornado right there. Excuse me. Inca have 500 people. Holy shit. Goddamn, Inca. You pop off. And you're like, why is it with a K and not a C? Oh, that's just because I think that's the correct way of doing it. I remember asking my advisor once when I was in graduate school about that, and he said it's the more historically accurate way of putting it because that's how they spelt it in Quechua, but I could be completely wrong. I could be completely wrong with that. Like I said, my thesis is based on everything prior to 5,000 years before. So the latest it goes into the ceramic period, but very, 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 very briefly. New Kingdom of Pishewev of Sun. What? New Kingdom, the hegemony. What? Oh, the Inca. They split. You gotta fix that up, dude. You can't let Patagonia go. Argentina and Chile just chilling over here, and then Alaska's like, fuck you. I'm gonna do my own shit and have blackjack and hookers and all of that. But the Incas still are, ooh, they are split. That is not good. Maybe that'll eventually pop off. Is anybody at war with anybody? I know you're at war. No, you're not at war. Who are you at war with? You're not at war with anybody. You're not at war with anybody. You're not at war with anybody. Finland's not at war with anybody. We are death and hell. What? Okay. So only thing that's happening is rebellions. I probably should turn that off next time because you don't want to have just these randomly generated names. In fact, we could just change it to, let's just make you Alaska. There we go. And you're going to be Patagonia, like the brand and the area. Well, that's cool. Is that tornado still going off? I should just kill that tornado. The natural disasters in this game are kind of cool, but it's kind of annoying when they just constantly destroy it. Like, the Kamchatka Peninsula just got rip. Just RIP. How are we doing on overall civilization tech levels? How are you doing? You're level 10 in tech. You have docks. Okay, so you should start having boats and shit. Do you have boats and shit? You should. Are there boats? Where's the boats? Boats are on. I want to see if New Zealand, which is just full of craps, ever gets colonized. And the scramble for Antarctica is going to be pretty interesting to see what happens there. Because I legitimately don't think it's inhabitable at all. Like, it's just snow. I'd even put penguins in there because I know they don't live there. I think. Do penguins live in the North Pole or the South Pole? I don't know. So this is probably the next area to go independent, if I had to guess. Finland's got almost 600 people. God damn. God damn. I think the next map we're gonna do is the US, and maybe just kind of put a few states in there. Like Wisconsin, Nevada, Illinois, Michigan, all the ones I've lived in throughout my life. Don't stalk me, for the love of God. So, ooh, Patagonia has actually taken over the eastern coast of South America. So, like, what is now just like the eastern part of Brazil? That's pretty much the only major changes I've seen. Alaska still being Alaska. This is probably gonna be the last place it get colonized. What is the US / Mexico is still heavily inhabited. A lot of grain, probably not a lot of rocks. The Northeast folks have been doing pretty good. They were at war with Canada for a while, which no longer exists. RIP Canadians. I'm sorry, you're an awesome country, and well, yeah, not gonna get political, but I've only been to Thunder Bay, and I was like 4, so I don't remember, but I definitely want to visit sometime. South Central Africa is still having a good time. Carthage is still popping off. I'm surprised there has not. Ooh, nice shot. That wasn't me, and you gained people, and for that, cool. I'm surprised there hasn't been a war between Finland, which is just a giant state, between Finland and Carthage. I love that. I love that Finland took over everything. That's my favorite. It's my favorite. And until we get boats, none of this is going to get occupied because it's just not enough room to build a civilization, I think. Indus, River Civ, and somewhat Russia are at war now. That's big. So the only places that they're actually touching is right here. And here's a big old war band going into somewhat Russia. This is going to be a massive battle. I would not be surprised if somebody else jumps in on this. And I really can't tell who's winning. It looks like it's a stalemate right now. Yeah, I think somewhat Russia. Oh, it's a 2-pronged attack. I didn't even see that. Oh, you're so fucked. Ooh, Inca has declared war on the Northeast folks too. Well, RIP Northeast folks. And Finland has declared war on South Central Africa. Finland? Finland's got 700 people. Oh my God. Why would you? So, somewhat Russia is probably about to die. The Northeast folk are still fine, but the war band, the original war band, is coming up. That's a lot of people. Cuba and Jamaica are still uninhabited by people. which is not how that happened. IRL. This is gonna be whoever wins this just basically wins the continent, I think. Northeast folks have declared war on Alaska. Poor decision to have a two-front war, and somewhat Russia is RIP. And now they're just a weird border gory. Ugh. But I mean their main state is RIP. They still have over here in eastern Russia in the Kamchatka Peninsula. But they're not gonna last very long. I mean they're just gonna get rolled over. And it does not look like Finland was necessarily successful in their war. The Northeast folk are actually holding off the Incans really well. I mean, it doesn't help that they decided to do a two-front war with Alaska up here and then the Inca coming for them from the south area. So that's just a poor decision there. I mean, like, I can't say, like, look at history because that never happened, but, like, you never want to fight a two-front war ever, right? It's just bad. So I just don't see how this is gonna play out. It seems like they both exhausted all their army as of right now, but Alaska is still chilling, and they're actually slowly expanding. They've got kind of BC-ish area, Yukon. King of Carthage is dead. That's surprising. Finland is still by far the #1 country in the world. Australia is currently on fire, which is not surprising. I'm surprised California is not on fire. California, are you on fire? No, you're not. So the Inca are still chilling. Patagonia is still chilling. South Central Africa survived versus Finland. Which is just surprising. Oh, somewhat Russia has been officially destroyed. The Indus River civilization kind of has just taken them out. And look at that border gore. This is gross. This is just really gross. Let's see what happens next over there. And this has just been a stalemate. The Inca have been not doing well. Oh, that's big. There's a giant war band. Are the Inca actually gonna lose this war? Oh, hey, and they lost a part of their people here. And you're gonna be called Canada Reborn. There you go. Canada. Whoops. Anyway. So I don't see any movement, but that's really bad timing for that to have happened. But oh man, they're gonna get some land down here. Can we go on to village layer? Where's the head of the village? The village capital must be right here, but they're just chilling down here. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose their main village down in the old cultural center. Basically Brazil. I wouldn't be surprised if Brazil just is RIP. How's Finland? You're at war with South Central Africa still, then I don't see that going anywhere, but how do you feel about the fish people? Fish folk. Don't like them. Definitely don't like them. So, we'll see how that turns out. The Northeast folk, if they didn't lose the northwestern part of their empire, I think they would have survived. I think they actually would have destroyed the Inca, but because of what happened here, that is the worst thing to have happen. Oh, and there's going to be a war between these two very soon here. Because they have an entire army group sitting on 2 of their borders. I have to imagine that that's going to cause a problem here. The Inca have recovered population-wise. but have not really made any headway from in this war. Do these guys still have an army group down here? No, looks like they were destroyed. That's interesting. You still at war? You are. Just like figure your shit out, dude. Well, it's been 30 minutes, so thank you so much for watching. We'll see what happens next time. Hopefully nothing goes off when I'm doing this credits, but I'll keep doing these as long as they somewhat actually get a little bit of a following, which was surprising because I really like this game. But I'll see you next time. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to pause this so nothing happens. Subscribe, like, leave comments. Please, God, I need to pay rent.